Um, so hopefully it gets fixed before that, because once the live stream is done after an hour, it has to be on phone. So you can listen on phone, but like I said, I'm not quite sure if that's going to be the scenario. Man, of all the nights to have, I haven't had for this long during a show in a long time. It just happened tonight. And that, man, that sucks. Okay, so I'm just going to start breaking down these fights. Because like I said, if this is the scenario, then I'm not going to sit here and just randomly milk time for you either. You know what I mean? I kind of wanted to go hand in hand and break down with some folks and get their opinions before I gave my full take. But that's cool too. Someone actually sent me this. This is from Mannix, but the WBC president, Mauricio Solomon, has stated that the WBC franchise title might not be gone forever. Might now be gone forever. We don't have any petitions right now. Maybe there will not be any petitions. Gone forever. I don't know yet. It's so sad, you know? The franchise is such a great thing. And then, real quick, I'm going to address this thing because I got a bunch of messages on this that Tank is going to fight Chris Cole. And I don't know, man. I don't believe that he's going to fight him. But it's really like, if you look at the source, well, where did the source come from? At least we can get a decent source, you know? But it just doesn't line up. Even for, so you're going to fight this guy over, okay, let's just say, if you're really going to fight him over, right? Why would you just fight Issa Cruz? You know, just think about that logically. You know, like, of course you do that. You'd much rather do that than the other. It just doesn't even make sense. And by the way, someone sent me this too. I mentioned this earlier, that the Japanese this is Boxeo Cubano. Japanese Boxing Commission has a lot to be ashamed of today. They won't allow Robesi Ramirez to even wear a Cuban flag on his uniform after the Cuban regime pressured them to do that. Very disappointed. So that is kind of weird. I don't know what's up with that. This is Jake Donovan. Someone sent me this as well about the judges. Judges were unanimous on just 5 of 12 rounds. We're talking about Kambosos accused. I was surprised when I heard 114. Looking at Southern's card, I still don't agree, but not an unreasonable path. Not so much with the other two horrible decisions. Like I said, I don't really find 7 rounds for Cam. I really don't think the 7-5 for Kambosos. I don't think he can make that argument. But I don't know. But the 117, 111 is just ridiculous. But yeah, like I said, gun to head, I do think for sure, that I thought Hughes won the fight. I didn't think it was like a clean win, an easy win or something. But like I said, the fight kind of sucked, So I don't know. All right, so I'm getting an update. I see Carcino on the line. Man, this is like perfect timing because I'm getting an update. And they said, hey, I just have to refresh again because I've been refreshing a bunch. So I'm just going to refresh again, and it should be up and running. So for those who called in earlier and wanted to talk, I apologize. If you still have some time to call in before the live stream is done, it's over 50 minutes to call in. All you have to do is be in the queue and you'll be good to go. I mean, you don't even have to press 1. You can be in the queue for a while, and then when you want to talk, you press 1. You don't have to do it right away. So, let's see here. Okay, make sure this is going to work here. All right, hold on. Let me make sure. if we got it to work. Carcino, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Fresh out the barber chair. Thing got me looking good. I'm ready. Ready for Saturday.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
And I'm ready for tomorrow, or kind of this morning in a sense, but tomorrow morning is going to be a good fight too. When's the last time that we had two great fights on the same week like this? Especially when it has to do with, somebody actually fighting during the week. Because when we were kids, there would be fights on a Tuesday randomly or a Wednesday, or some of those super fights we remember. Those were on a Thursday night, and a Tuesday night, Monday night, stuff like that. So we just rarely see big fights happen during the week anymore. So it's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was just like, wow, I can't believe it. And in the morning, we're going to have a boxing match go on, and people, by the time they wake up tomorrow, they're going to be like, what? What happened? I was wondering when we're ever going to get a fight. With the hand wrapping situation.
Yeah, I know.
And this takes me back to Manny Pacquiao Margarito. If anybody go back and watch that fight, both fighters were allowed to stack. And Manny Pacquiao wrapped his own hands this time. Not Freddie. He put on the tape first. And then the gauze, and then I'm like, whoa, why are they allowing this? And Margarito was allowed to do the same thing, apparently. They were allowing that to happen, but Manny Pacquiao was allowed to start with tape. If anybody could go back and watch that, you'll see it clear as day. He starts with the tape first, then with the gauze. It was unbelievable. I said, I can't believe they're allowing this. And Margarito couldn't see out of either eye. It was incredible they allowed that to happen. But this was like, we're punishing him for the Miguel Cotto situation, so he can't argue or contest anything. But yes, that was a big controversy because they called it double stacking. What they felt, what's the name, the guy who was doing? He was putting tape, then gauze, then tape again, and they consider that like double stacking or stacking period. So it's supposed once you start with tape, you've already messed up. And that's why I tried to tell people, I'm like, I don't know what state they still allow that in, but once you start with tape, you've already messed up. Now, sometimes they start with tape, like if they say, like I remember Manuel Stewart would say to a lot of people, like if the fighter had wrist problems or something like that, and they say, hey, you don't mind if I fight? He was like, yeah, you don't want the fighter to break their wrist or anything like that. So Manuel Stewart would allow them to put extra tape around their wrist. Anything around the knuckles getting tape, that's to start it off, is not acceptable. Now, certain fighters had extra tape around their wrists, and that was like to start it out just for support. That's not doing any damage to people. So if he allowed somebody to do that, and that was this case, then yeah. But from what they've been seeing and the way he's been wrapping his hands, has been totally wrong from the beginning. So it's not like the Margarito situation. Margarito was like an attempt murder. That was just not the way to go, period. But now that I guess they have this under control now, so I guess we're going to have a fight. So now that we're going to have
he was voicing his concerns and that type of thing. Yeah, it sounds like they've already, passed that hurdle. Obviously, they don't officially tape them up right before the fight, so I wouldn't be down if we get a little delay or something. I wouldn't be shocked at that, but yeah, it sounds like they passed the hurdle.
Well, that's good because see, Derek James is going to be watching a lot of people's hand wraps and watching a lot of different things. That's why the Crawford fight, you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff happen right before that bell rings. I'm looking for all of this. I'm expecting all of this to take place. So it's a lot of money going to be transpiring with bets and people placing bets on where money's going to go. But this is a 50-50 fight also. I like the way Fulton Jr., moves. I think he's really got the goods. But I've never really seen him under the fire with someone who's about as fast as him and can fight at different angles and attack him strategically and vice versa. I've never seen him in a fight where Nonito Danier in the first fight was the one, the second fight was a blowout, but the first fight, I saw Nonito set him up to run him into traps, but Nonito is a power puncher. And Fulton Jr. can hit, but he's more of a counter striker. But I've never really seen him have to deal with a thinking boxer in the ring who's kind of slick, fight you at angles, and it's only attack when it's an opening. And the openings will be there. But, I don't think Fulton Jr. is going to get his hand raised in this. I think it'll be a good fight. But I don't know how he's going to actually win this one in a boxing match. This guy's going to keep that pace, the tempo up, and he's going to make it very uncomfortable with him and changing the pace of the fight. What's his name? Iganaju? I always say his name wrong.
Inoue.
But I think
Inoue.
Yeah, right, anyway. So Inoue is going to do it any way he can. He's going to turn up the speed of the fight. He's going to increase the tempo. He's going to wait for a minute, and once he sees his opening, it's kind of like Pacquiao, what Pacquiao used to do when he fight a faster fighter or a fighter that is quick or is a thinker. While they're thinking, he's punching. So he turns up the speed to get them fight at a pace that they're not really comfortable at fighting. So those fighters normally back up so they can get their space. Most of those fighters are not comfortable fighting at enclosed space. They need their distance. So if you have a lot of experience, you know how to make them very uncomfortable. And that's something Manny would do when he wasn't as skilled as his opponent, and they got more skill than him. He knows I need to shorten the distance and just put pressure on him so that he would panic and make a mistake, and hopefully I catch him with something to hurt him, and then I could just, rush him. And that was the key to a lot of his success, is that Manny knew how to strike them at angles that they couldn't, really recover, and his speed and activity would beat the more calculative fighter. And this type of fight here that once it gets turned up, I don't know if Fulton Jr. has another level to go through. I love this. I love his fighting style. I love the way he boxes, the way he stays on angles, try to keep his head offline, uses footwork in the ring, controls some pace. But he does get hit from time to time from thinking too much and not being as active, and kind of use a little like just trying to land a ball, trying to score a point, more like amateur fighting than actually putting combinations together and like really sitting down on shots. I really think for this fight here, this is going to grow him up. He's going to be in the trenches, and he's going to have to capitalize on it. I think he might get dropped once in this fight. So,
I think he'll definitely get dropped or hurt or something. It's going to be a back and forth fight.
Dropped. I think so too. I'm looking at 117, 115, like that, but I think it'll be a unanimous decision for Inoue.
Do you think that Inoue will then bring the pressure? That's probably or do you think maybe Fulton will actually bring the pressure? Because, although Inoue can box on the outside, it's not like that's something he consistently does per se. So you see,
I think Fulton Jr. style, I see Inoue pushing it, because I see Fulton Jr. is going to be like the Matador. He's going to try to use his distance. He's going to keep the arm out, try to keep his arm distance and use his jab and stay at an angle and try to be cute. And once Inoue sees what he wants to do, and probably after like 1 or 2 rounds, he's going to change up the speed. He's going to change his feint. He's going to feint and get in and try to land something hard and then follow that up with activity and turn it up and get and close the space. See, for him, he has to close distance. And once he closes distance, then he can change the fight into the fight that he wants it to be. And once he gets that close, then the pace is up. Fulton Jr. is going to be trying to back up to maintain that space, to maintain that distance. And once he keeps trying to back up, and keep the distance out there, meanwhile, every time he's doing that, and Inoue's coming forward, it's never a good thing because now you're basically fighting in his hometown. You're the visitor here. You're going to have to come take the title from him. You're going to have to drop this guy. You're going to have to really put something on him. You're going to have to step this up. Everybody's basically rooting for him. If you want to be the man, and I love that we're making these type of fights now. You know, this is the guy who's been running this division for a minute, and everyone's saying he's unbeatable. But I saw Nonito Donaire put this guy in trouble with counter shots from rushing in and getting caught. But Nonito is a big puncher. Even at an older age, that power is still there, and he's a great counter puncher. So for him, he had to respect that. This is a different fight. I want to know if both the shots and opportunities will be there. You can hit anyway, you know, but can you take what he dish out? That's going to be the cause of it. Because if you believe that the hand wrapping is what was the key for a fighter, it could give them a false sense of security. They could say, yeah, that's what it was. I knew it was the reason I lost. And you're banking on that. Then you get in a fight and you realize, yeah, you tricked yourself. And now you're getting hurt again from shots. You know, we saw that happen with Wilder and Fury. You know, he started believing these headlines to give himself a false sense of security. Like, yeah, it was the hand wraps. He was holding egg weights. He had egg weights in his gloves. He was hitting me with them. There's no way he could have beat me. Then the next fight happened, and you're getting dropped again. So it's not pretty soon. You know, you can fool yourself into believing something to try to give yourself some false confidence to get yourself through something. But once that you get back in the ring, you know, the truth is going to be told. I like Fulton Jr. I think he's got a lot of great potential, and I just don't think if they fought twice, he might win the rematch. But this fight here, I don't know. I think he's going to get graduation into a whole new reality, something that he wasn't expecting. I think he's going to get a graduation real fast. Yeah.
Well, it's past graduation season, but we'll see. That early morning stuff, man. It's like, what are you thinking about? Are you going to set your alarm and just jump on, or are you going to? I don't know. I don't want to stay
already
that
up.
late.
I'm already up, man.
I don't know. I'm a night owl, Carcino, but 7:30 in the morning, I'm not that much of a night owl.
7:30 in the morning, I'll be probably getting ready for bed, but
Right.
That's how much of a night owl I am. The sun's coming up, I'm going down. So, but no, I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I'll definitely be
That's
ready.
The thing. I say all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, boom, you know, I'm all about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep myself ready for the Crawford fight.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into that. Your Spence Crawford breakdown and predictions, sir.
Well, I've been watching the training camps and to see if I had come out with a different outcome than what I had previously. You know, when I had another decision to make, or with something I see, you know, give me a false sense of security. And all it did was make me even more confident in my decision. Everything I've seen from the build-up and everything, it has made me more confident I've ever been in a decision And I don't really mean a decision. I mean a stoppage. In my life, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is going to end in a stoppage. That's something I can see. I can't see it happening any other way but a stoppage. It's not going to the card. I cannot see it going to the card at all. From the matchups, Errol Spence, what Errol has to do is he has to be the boss of the ring. He has to have an active jab, but he cannot overcommit and lean himself into a point where he's trying to bully Terrence Crawford. If he does that early on, he's in trouble. He's too flat-footed, and what he has to do in this fight is not be flat-footed. He has to give the illusion that he's going to move. I don't care if it's a head bob or whatever he has to do. He has to keep his hands moving, his gloves moving, throwing feints with his gloves. You know, he's got to catch. He's got to change angles. He's got to do something different than what he normally does. If he keeps thinking, it worked for me before in this fight, I'm going to do it this fight, he's in trouble. And that's why I don't see Terrence Crawford having any real problems with Errol Spence. Errol is strong, but he normally loads up on one shot. That's his big left. His right is not really as strong as people think. He's really a lefty, and that's where his power is, and it's based off of his right hand really isn't that strong. He has a decent jab, but it's mostly his left that's really strong, and his body of work. He's a strong, physical 147 fighter who really should be fighting at 54. My problems with him is just like when he came into the photo shoot, he was overweight. He has been walking around at like 185, 190 for the longest periods of time. He wasn't in the gym working. And even when they did the photo op, and I showed it on Instagram, the real photo, not the one they showed you on All Access. I showed you the real photo and what he looked like walking in to take because that was before they started training camp. And you see the gut that he got when he's coming in there. So he's already trying to get himself in shape once this fight is made. He's been out of the ring for a year. He's going to be rusty. And by the time he gets the rust off, will he be able to turn it up when he needs to? Will it fail him? And plus, this is going to be his last fight at 47. He's been struggling to make 47. So Terrence has been working out. He's had a fight. He's active. The advantages he's got, the long arms, the reach, the athleticism. His athleticism is his key. Right along with his boxing skills, his athleticism is all on point. He's quicker than Errol. He can hit Errol at different angles before Errol can even know what's going on because he telegraphs a lot of his punches. He sits down and anchors his feet into the ground. Then he gets off balance because he throws punches and he's off. So he switches just like Terrence, but it's not like Terrence. He switches because he's off balance with his feet. He squares up his feet work sometimes when he's throwing punches. Terrence is going to hurt this guy to the body. I saw, and I had to point it out to people, when Ugas hurt Errol in the 9th round and hit him in the gut, and I said, if he goes the longer he goes in the fight with Terrence Crawford, and he goes body shot for body shot, you can't keep expanding, getting the gut, and then sweating down and getting muscles again, and think that's the same. It's not. It's called keeping your muscles tight. Once you start extracting your muscles and expanding your gut because you keep getting out of shape and keep sweating back down to try to get back in shape, you might look good, but it ain't going to be good when you get in that ring. By the time the 9th round, that six-pack's going to look like a cake. And then you're gonna be like in trouble. That happened with De La Hoya and Vargas. Vargas came in there with like a six-pack ready to go, and then by the time De La Hoya was landing that jab to the body and kept hitting him in the body. By the time they got to the 9th, 10th round, that six-pack was looking like a cake. Looked like a little baby cake.
It was like a little party ball. It was like a little party ball.
Yeah.
Little party balls, yeah?
Exactly. So those body shots are going to have way more lasting effects. And Errol's a good body puncher, but with smaller guys, he could bully around the ring. You know, this isn't Sean Porter. Sean Porter bullied him, like, was going toe-to-toe with him. And, yeah, you went toe-to-toe with Sean, but you were losing that exchange with Sean. You know, you don't want to get into this firefight with Terrence Crawford. Bud's not going to do the same thing over and over again. He knows how to land his punches, lands his jabs, and he's not somebody that's not willing to stick his nose out there. And Errol Punch, I don't know where the people get this Errol Spence is this dominating knockout guy. Where are they getting this from? Man down. I'm like, what man is he putting down? He's going to the cards with Mikey Garcia. He's 135. He's going to the cards with Danny Garcia. Who's he putting down? He didn't drop Ugas. Who is he? Man down is Errol go to the cards Spence. It's not. I'm like, he goes to the cards. Terrence Crawford has stopped everyone at welterweight. Guys who had never been knocked down, never been stopped. He was stopping these guys since the moment he got to welterweight. He has fought different people styles. With different variation of styles, he has fought these guys. And I'm like, Errol Spence has been fighting safe fights. And I was like, they put him in there with guys they knew Errol could get by. They did not want to fight certain fights. He's not going to fight Boot Ennis because they're in the same camp. The Keith Thurman fight, that's why he didn't put him in there with Keith. It's too dangerous of a fight. Anybody his own size, they're very leery about putting him in the ring with. He was supposed to walk through Sean Porter. Sean Porter comes straight ahead. That's perfect for Errol. And what they saw was that was a dangerous fight for Errol. Errol fights in a style where he has a garbage pail, he dips his head down, throws two jabs with his right hand, and then comes with a hard left to the body. All of his moves, in combination, I could tell you right now. If Errol Spence, if Terrence Crawford don't know it, but it's all, he does the same moves all the time. It's nothing new to Errol Spence. He's a good fighter. He's a good, solid fighter. But nothing, if you put him in there with another guy his size, you're going to see how average he really is. That's just how it is with him. He's a good, solid fighter for 154. But he does nothing that really stands out and say he's anything. He beat Chris Algieri, another 140. He's at 154 getting his bell rung. They had to bring him down to 47 because those guys at 54 were way too big for Errol. Their power level was way too they could deal with what he could dish out, and they could dish out more. So they had to sit him at 147. Yep. So they put him at 147. And I think Terrence Crawford is going to beat him with his athleticism. More than his boxing ability, his athleticism. Him to escape the punches, punish him, and body shots. His body punches, and everybody talks about Errol's as this body puncher. Watch what Terrence Crawford does to him. Watch what Bud does to him. Yep. He's going to break him down with the body shot.
So, and by the way, 929-646, I see you there. We're just kind of talking it through. So do you think it's just going to be one-sided then? Because we know Terrence Crawford does take a few rounds to warm up, and he's lost plenty of rounds within the first 4 to 6 rounds. Do you see that happening, or do you just see it a one-sided fight the whole time?
I see it a one-sided fight the whole time. Because Terrence chooses what he wants to do. If he's trying to do homework and trying to see what's going on, his thing is, I'm getting you out of here. I'm not trying to get to the card. He's not worried about, am I winning this round or am I winning that round? He's trying to see what I'm going to do to break you down and get you up out of here. And if he figures you out, he pretty much figures you're not going to survive the fight. It don't really take him a long time to warm up. He's going along with the flow of the fight. And then he steps it up. Like, if he wants to start early, he'll start early. You know, like, if he sees the opening, he's going to take it. Like, he's going to outbox Errol Spence. And that's it. Everybody thinks, well, Errol's going to outbox him early. Errol is a slow starter. Errol does not start fast. I don't know where people got that from. He's not a fast starter at all. So all he's going to do, they say, oh, he's an active fighter, and he's going to keep coming with the activity. He's going to wear Terrence down. If that's what they're banking on. They have no game plan for Terrence Crawford except for activity. We're going to just be active. And if you're active, you're going to force the fight early with Terrence. And if they do that and they want to, this is their strategy, like we're going to wear him down and we're going to be more conditioned. Okay. We're going to see something's going to give because Errol's going to bring the fight to Terrence. And that's what I'm saying. This is the easiest fight for Terrence Crawford. The easiest. Stylistically, Errol is not going to sit back and see what Terrence is going to do. He's going to come forward. And he's going to try to hurt Terrence Crawford. And once he tries to keep pushing his way, landing punches, getting his rhythm, and command the ring, and he want to beat Terrence to the spot, Terrence will use his athleticism, pick him apart from angles. And once he starts doing that, going around his jab and counter-punching Errol, because Errol telegraphs every punch he throws, as soon as he comes with that little 1-2, double half jab with his right hand and tries to load up on that left to the body, that counter shot is going to come across. That counter left shot, and that's going to get his attention. Body punches, then he's going to start sitting back, pawing with a jab. This is going to be one-sided for a while. It's going to be a one-sided fight for a while. Errol's going to get hurt, and you're going to see his activity drop like somebody fell off a cliff. And then all of that is going to be all Bud Crawford after that. Body shot, head shot. It's going to be brutal. He's getting stopped in about I'll say about round 8. Round 8, Errol's going to probably be on the ground.
Wow, man, I'm surprised. I knew you were going to pick Crawford, but I didn't think you'd think it was one-sided because, to be fair, Porter, I know they're different fighters, but Porter and Crawford wasn't a one-sided fight. And you could have made an argument for 5-4 going into the 10th round for either guy. And he was able to land his jab, and Spence's jab is much better than Porter, and he's a more fundamental come-forward fighter than Porter. He's not just a fullback or a halfback. So that's surprising.
That is correct. Because it's two different types of fighters. So the thing is with Sean Porter, what actually Bud was doing to him was actually swinging and hitting him at angles he didn't even expect punches to come from. And all of this was wearing him down. He was hitting Sean Porter with shots to the body, upstairs. It was all, Sean was ready to go the round before he got knocked out. Once Bud decided to turn it up, when it got to the championship round and he turned it up, he was done. He knew he had him, and he was breaking him down methodically, putting his shots to work when he wanted to, using his aggression. I saw Sean slow down because of some of the body shots that he did take in that fight. Then I saw the shots coming up top. And I said, oh, yeah, he's now once you confuse Sean Porter, he was confused because he didn't know how he was getting hit. He was looping the shot around.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. He was frustrated,
he was looping
at the end of that,
Yeah, he was frustrated because he couldn't, he was like, I can't believe I'm getting hit. Like, what am I getting hit with? He's not seeing it because his head is down. And he's coming forward. He's only seeing his target he wanted hit, and he's getting hit. I'm telling you, this is going to be the crowning achievement. As I told Terrence Crawford, this is going to be your easiest night. And when everybody see this, they're not going to. It's not even going to be a need for a rematch. It won't be. I mean, Errol's going to fight. He's going to bring it to him. He's going to try to fight his fight, and he's going to lose at his fight. He's going to bring activity, and that's what I want. I want to see Errol bring that activity. And then you're going to see the difference between a great fighter and a good fighter. This is where you're going to see the difference. The cream is going to rise to the top as usual, and then you will know there is no comparison. There is no 50-50 fight here. There is only Bud Crawford. It is not even comparable. I cannot wait till Saturday.
I can't wait. Where are you gonna watch it, by the way? What do you got plans?
Oh, at my house, I got my Aerospace buddies coming all over to my house because I want all my money in the same room.
Right, yeah. You can't go anywhere. Lock the doors.
Yep. I told them I want them to be there to hear my phone going bing, 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 bing. All them Zelle payments coming right through.
Yeah, exactly. You map them right in front of you. Okay, that's one, that's two. Whoa, where are you going?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting all my Aerospace money.
I see where you're going.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm glad that you made it in tonight. And by the way, next Monday we'll be doing a show too. So,
Okay.
Are they going to light you up, or are you going to light everybody up? You know what I mean? So,
Oh, buddy,
I'm
I
getting a
will
bunch
be
of
here
messages
Monday.
right now because
Lock it down. I am coming Monday. Yeah, I want all these Aerospace fans on here calling in.
Well, they're coming for you. All right, buddy.
Oh, they better.
I appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, appreciate it too.
All right, you take it easy. Have a good week.
All right, good night.